Guess gon' make you fuck like a limbo. He said she not a, she an yeah, ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
You get block me. You get block me. You get block me.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And incomplete to open things up.
Oh, yeah.
And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
We own it. We own it.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And Diggs has it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers got his man there. It's Wallace complete. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Here we go. Here we go.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that
Prescott, a quick throw caught by Cooper. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
I'm trying to forget about that pick six last time out. Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You better be ready next time.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well. Yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 119 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
On second and very short, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. To throw is Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call PPR?
Receiver still gets a point there. Yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Elliott running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 10. Call that a 48-yard punt, and made even better by a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm not ready. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
54 Mike. Tackles. Mike's 54.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers, he's able to find Wallace. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. This one good for a 1st down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season.
Blue 58.
Check pass.
Hey, Mike.
54 is Mike. Check.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He's got Smith here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Watch.
Hey, flag.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers going long here for Wallace. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing is Rodgers. Setting up the screen for Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point try by Bailey. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game. He doesn't plan on slowing down.
Man, if he duplicates that, that would be history. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. Cook able to escape. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Gotta do better.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Jim. Check your hot read. Check 13.
Right. 13. Check Luke again.
On 2nd down now. It's Cook. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, 88.
Check, Mike. Check. Bang.
Okay, over here.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Go, go.
Mike's 54. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
On second and 11 now. Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make. Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Mike 55. Mike 55.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he's able to find Diggs. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down. And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
319.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
We are going.
Kill.
399. Check. 399.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Second and 5 now. Rodgers, they set up the screen for Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and 10. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Oh, you're crediting your defense. Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Right there in the middle. 50 down ball.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans. He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right. Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. They run, Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns. And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes. That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg? Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He was brought down there by Will Parks.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
That's what I do. Inside. Mike, 55.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hey, exit. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. In your face.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Check 43.
Inside.
Mike 54.
They'll run for it with Cook. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On now, the former Cowboy kicker, Dan Bailey. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bailey's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. He juked him. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. A throw left side to start the drive is complete, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
A first down carry by Elliott. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on second down. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
47. 26. 26.
Here's Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing. Prescott. Throw left side complete. It's Elliott. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Elliott. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They start the drive with Cook. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Break that in.
Blue 58.
54, Mike.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass.
26.
That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Hey, echo.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Double dog. That's the way.
Watch out. Check Mike 54.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Rodgers now pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. And he is the NFC rating offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, Liz.
54. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Switch.
Inside.
Check 3. Undercrush.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Derrick Henry with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive goes 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be taken at the 10. Dances by him. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, Zoo.
Here we go, D. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
We got to get the... Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, check Mike, check Mike. Block it again.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Cook, and he's dropped right at the 40, gain of 3. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
From the 40 now on second down, Rodgers, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Rodgers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Hey, Bravo.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Draw play. This is Henry. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Know your job.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on second down. Prescott. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, Prescott looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Letting one fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Check tight. Check tight.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's able to find Wallace. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Inside.
You go night-night. Some go night-night.
Hey, Charlie.
Right there in the middle. 55. On the ball. 55 is my guy. 55. Shake.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Green 18!
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team.
Jeff! Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Green 18.
Rodgers now on first down. Going long here for Wallace. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Check 55 to Mike. Stop your whining.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Here we go. 55. Switch. Under 10.
Elliott. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This is Elliott, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Prescott now. To the left side, it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check, crunch. Coco over here. Hey, switch gears.
Derrick Henry. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I'm here all day. Yeah, Liz. 54's Mike.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 19. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Hey, 88. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Hey, orbit. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now Edmonds, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Hey, Alpha. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Rip right.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Now Rodgers. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chase Edmonds, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The run by Elliott, a good one on 1st down as he's able to pick up about 6 there. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3. You got 58. The 49-yard line.
Again, it's Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. Check 30. 25. Check 25. Check 25. He's coming. Double up. Double up.
Now it's Henry. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Hey, check right. Watching your 5. Stay with your man.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
50. 55 is mine, guys. 55. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
But no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Who that? Mark 55. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. And bring it. Hey, Delta. Check 55, Mike.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, wahoo! Mike, 54. Check Mike, check Mike. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Come on, boy. Come on.
Now Rodgers. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run with Elliott. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try to throw now. Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. He's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's been great. Look down at the stat monitor here a moment ago. He's already over 300 yards in the third quarter.
And you get the sense there are plenty more yards to come. He's been sharp right from the beginning, finding the open targets, knows exactly where he wants to go with the football, and is delivering it really well.
And now he is in search of more yardage on this drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Check 50. Check 50. Check 50.
Again, it's Henry. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. 3 quarters in the books. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still... Hey, box drop. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Wild Bill.
Now it's Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Vikings on third down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 4.
We got 4.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Second and 10 at the 17-yard line.
54, Mike, 54. Watch the run, watch the run. Check. Fresno.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Watch the edge.
Wide left.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. An 8-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Prescott on first down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up up to the 34. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
And the coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott throwing right, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Check 26.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
I got you. Mike 55, Mike 55. All day.
Rodgers going to throw. And that's incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Watch twist.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 50.
Jump out. Go.
Mike 55. Mike 55. Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike 55. Check 55. Mike.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
All that, and it only nets them a yard. It's 2nd down.
At the 3-yard line.
Here's Elliott. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
57 the mic. 57 the mic. You must win it.
Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing just about on his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They run. Cook. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
I'm going to hit you all day.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hey, defense, let's go. We don't get it. Hey, watch that.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Watch out.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Elliott. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. To throw is Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. A first down throw for Prescott. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And again, it's Prescott. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
No. Blue 58. Inside. You rush. Mike 55.
He don't know no better. Mike 55.
Hey, seam 6.
Rodgers looking to throw. Going long here for Wallace. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple.
Cook strip, the ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
We got it. Three buzz. Shoot.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.